Hey, what's up guys? John here. The Department of Urban Development, the White House, and the Department of Energy just formed an alliance and a partnership to decarbonize every building in America over the next 6 years.
Real estate sector accounting for 60% of overall carbon emissions in urban centers.
Just the real estate industry is going to have to spend somewhere between $18 and $36 trillion to decarbonize itself.
This is going to be a complete game changer to property values. This is going to change everything that we know about real estate in America. I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on because this is unreal. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session to position you for the greatest wealth transfer in American history. Take a look at this. So I saw this on Twitter. Secretary Marcia L. Fudge. She said, "This new partnership underscores our strong, enduring commitments to energy efficiency and climate resiliency for our nation's communities, homes, and buildings and infrastructure." So I clicked on this, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and I found it on their website. Right here, I'll pull this down so you can see the URL, HUD.gov. And what they say is right in line with what they've been telling us. But before they would kind of drop these little clues, you would see it on, for example, whitehouse.gov. They would say, cut energy use and electrify equipment and appliances to achieve net zero one emissions in 30% of their buildings, in the next 6 years. Then you see here, all new buildings will be, it will hit these requirements in the next 6 years. You start to see this across the board. You're like, maybe. Then you see, they're talking about making eco regulations for air conditioners, refrigerators. Biden was talking about that. And when is this going to start? Well, believe it or not, the actions are going to start 2025, right? So it's happening right now. All the rules, all the regulations, everything's already in motion. But the masses, the general public, will start to get awakened by the changes coming to real estate very, very, very soon. John Kerry came out saying, he said that, gotta slash them from the AC units, refrigerators, to fight this. So this is all happening so quickly, but look at what the HUD said. So here's how this is gonna work. So the HUD have joined the U.S. delegations to COP28, led by Special Presidential Envoy for John Kerry, right? Same exact thing, right? Same person. 20 U.S. Department of agencies, civil society leaders across the U.S. have traveled to Dubai, UAE, and this is the UNEP Buildings Breakthrough, and this partnership right here with joining the White House. So you can start to see how fast this is moving. They say this new partnership that we are announcing today underscores our strong and enduring commitment to energy efficiency and climate resiliency for our nation's communities, homes, buildings, and infrastructure. It also underscores our commitment to sharing research on climate impacts facing by those most at risk, said U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Marcia L. Fudge. Same person on Twitter, right? HUD will continue to work closely with the Department of Energy, fortify homes and communities across the country, ensuring they are prepared to respond to the challenges proposed by the climate crisis through mitigation, adaptation, and resilience. Today's announcement reinforces the Biden-Harris administration's whole of government approach to lower cost for working families and ensure the benefits of transition to cleaner energy future and are fully accessible, especially to those in low-income areas and underserved communities, said the U.S. Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm. This new partnership will allow the Department of Energy and the HUD to leverage each other's expertise to deliver the presidential's commitment to provide more affordable and healthier housing for Americans while also reducing daily emissions that fuel the climate crisis. So, many people might say this is a great thing. Many people might say, yes, this is awesome. Many other people, though, that own properties are going to have to bring these properties up to code. That's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be, $20. It might be thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Depends on the property, right? You'd have to speak to your specialist and, see what these upgrades are going to look like. But you're talking about changing your stoves, AC units, ventilation, everything, right? Even the building envelope, the exterior stucco, they're going to check to make sure that, no energy is being wasted and that everything is being contained and it's at the highest use possible for energy. And so when you start to look at all these new building codes, you have to ask yourself, how many people can afford to borrow money at today's interest rates? Probably not as many as 2 years ago when rates are 2%, 3%. So you're going to have a higher borrowing cost, higher expenses with a tapped out consumer. It's probably going to be a problem for a lot of people. So when you start to look at what Warren Buffett did, investing heavily into these home builders, it's starting to make a lot more sense. Is because you're going to buy a home, a new home, and it's going to likely have a lot of these changes already done in advance. So they're going to buy these properties and they're going to be able to do so for a lower cost than what and it's already happening, a lower cost for what it would cost to buy an existing home. So you're going to start seeing so many people start to walk into problems because of these new upgrades that are coming. These announcements respond to both the challenging patterns of human settlement and the role the building sector plays in the greenhouse emissions. By 2050, it is projected that nearly 70% of the world's population will reside in urban areas, and it is estimated that today the building sector accounts for nearly 40% of annual greenhouse gas emissions globally. Along with its federal partners, HUD is committed to reducing GHG emissions in the building sector and leveraging the best available science to ensure that our homes and urban communities are built to withstand climate. So when you look at this, for example, 28 cities have pledged to hit this target in the next 6 years. So every single statement is the same year, every single one, the same year. So when you look at this, you're like, okay, well, what does this look like? It says implementing and enforcing building energy regulations and mandatory performance standards for existing buildings. Include measures to reduce embodied emissions in buildings with benchmarking whole life cycle emissions. Incentivizing or implementing citywide actions towards grid decarbonization. This is the same exact thing. You look at our cities, you're going to see that this is basically happening all over North America, right? So this whole thing, this is going to be a national movement. And so when you look at what it costs right now, if you're a renter right now, you're like, hey, you know what, I want to buy a property. You definitely want to understand what these costs will likely be in the next couple of years, because it's probably going to make more sense, probably going to be more cost effective to get in front of this thing before everybody else. Because if you look at what's ultimately going to happen, labor costs likely are going to continue to rise for skilled laborers. The cost of materials likely will continue to rise. Insurance, everything's going to continue to get more and more and more expensive. So if you can buy a property and you understand what you're getting into, and you could do it at a number in which makes sense, okay. But maybe you end up buying a brand new home. Maybe you end up buying a brand new property. And I think that's going to become very, very, very popular because newer homes are cheaper to insure. They already have a lot of these upgrades most likely already in place. And these builders, they know what's coming. They're already building everything in accordance to those standards, I can almost guarantee you. Of course, you want to check with your home builder. And they're also able to offer a lower rate, a lower mortgage rate. So it's no secret that it's difficult to buy a home. There's a low supply of homes available for sale, and mortgage rates are also a lot higher than they were just a couple of years ago. These hurdles are enough to cause many potential buyers to wonder whether now is the right time to buy a home, or whether it makes more sense to stay in their current home or continue renting. There's one option, though, that may lead to buyers to get a better mortgage rate than they otherwise would have. The secret is to look for new construction and find a builder who is willing to do the extra mile to get buyers into their homes. It might take some, but with enough patience, you'll be able to get a mortgage rate that is lower than the average. There's rates, I'm hearing 3%, 4%, 5%. Some of these rates are 30-year fixed rate mortgages with lower insurance costs. Think about this. This is what a lot of people are going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at the erosion of purchasing power from their dollar. They're going to be looking at the uncertainty in the world, and they're going to be looking to make an investment. That's what I think a lot of people are going to be doing. And they're going to be making an investment based on where things are headed. And I believe soon people will realize all of these things. I mean, this literally just came out this morning, so you're getting it here first. I mean, right on the website, this is happening. This is happening. You're going to want to own property. You're going to want to make smart, forward-thinking decisions based on facts, not based on, hopium. Everything's going to go back to 2018, 2019. It's not. Things are going to get more strange by the day. Things are going to get more curveballs, more, things that people say, oh, that would never happen. That's what we're walking into. We're going to see a massive pool of inventory slowly start to creep onto this market every 6 months. More and more inventory is going to hit this market. But when this starts to really, break head, like right in front of everybody. Front row. When this is mainstream conversation, you're going to start to see a lot of people say, you know what, I can't afford this. I cannot afford to do these upgrades. I'm just going to sell the house. I'm going to downsize into a new construction. I'm going to do, I'm going to rent. I'm going to do something. You're going to start to see it. What do you think about this situation? Do you think we're walking into a scenario where a lot of people that purchase properties over the last year, 2 years, 3 years are going to say, maybe I overpaid for that property. Maybe I can't afford these upgrades. I can't afford to borrow the money. These interest rates, I should probably sell. I should probably, do something else. I have a feeling we're going to start to see this. And this push that just started, this is only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Drop it below. Let's have a conversation about this. What do you think the impact of the housing market will be as this becomes more mainstream? Drop below. Let's have a conversation. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we would love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Catch you in the next one.